So as I promised, we're going to now graph this question. And to do that, as you know, you have your m and you have your b. You got your, m is in a fraction form. That's good. Your b is the 0.03. It's an ordered pair. And let's look at what that looks like on the graph. We don't really need that in the decimal form. 7 over 2 equals 3.5, but that's not going to really necessarily help us for this. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Let's talk about what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it. So after you find the slope and y-intercept, all right, write a fraction, as we said, for the slope and an ordered pair for the y-intercept. That's what we've been talking about. That's simply making sure that this is a fraction, making sure that's an ordered pair. That's something you should do every single time right away. Don't wait to do that, because those are the most important bits of information you need to be able to use for your graph. All the time, put your slope in a fraction form so that you have rise over run, and put your y-intercept b in a ordered pair form so that you definitely know and recognize that it's a point. Remember, slope is not a point. All right, back here. M, or slope, is 7 over 2. It's already a fraction, and b must be written as 0 over 3. Fine, we're kind of repeating ourselves, but that's okay for the purpose of pounding it home, making sure we understand. Now we're ready to graph. And here we go with the graph. We are ready to graph. And number one, first thing is, here are the instructions for graphing. We're going to plot the y-intercept and then follow the direction of the slope, rise over run. And remember that the top number in a, make sure you can see all that, sorry. Okay, these are your steps for graphing. We're going to plot the y-intercept, right? Number one, because it's a point. We are going to follow the direction of the slope, which tells you 7 over 2, rise 7, run 2. In other words, the top number is the up and down direction, the bottom number is the right left. So we're going to literally go up 7 and right 2. Let's see what that looks like on the graph itself. And we'll just reveal that. First of all, we started with 0, 3. Okay? We started with 0, 3. Right here is the y-intercept. Why is that the y-intercept? That's the y-intercept because it's the place where the line crosses the y-axis. And there you go for that. And now how do we get the next point? Up 7 over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And we have our second point. There it is. 2 points on the graph. And whenever you have 2 points, now the other thing is you could do is you could go down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then left 3, because you can have minus 7, okay, that would be 3 there, and 4 here, and then 3. You can have this point here, because you can go down 7, which is left 7, 3. Why is it, or 2, sorry, not 3. The reason you can do that is this equals minus 7 over minus 2. It's the same thing. Positive 7 over positive 2 is equal to minus 7 over negative 2, because a negative divided by negative is positive. So either way, we have a line. All you have to do is connect the dots, as is done here. Connect the dots, and you have yourself a graph of a line. And in this case, it's positive slope. No surprises there. It looks like a plane taking off. To recap, we were able to start this out by plotting the y-intercept at 0, 3. That's the first step right here. Plot the y-intercept. Then we followed the direction of the slope, which was 7 over 2, rise over run. And in order to really understand that, we recognize that rise is a up-down motion. It could be up or down. In this case, it's up 7. And that the run on the bottom of the fraction is right or left. Okay, we have questions. What's our first question?
So if it's 7 over 2, rise over run, then why is it negative 7 over negative 2?
That's a great question. And I think I'm really glad you asked it. The reason is, what I'm really saying here is, yes, indeed, it is 7 over 2. There's no doubt it's 7 over 2. But what I'm saying is that 7 over 2, okay, can actually equal negative 7 over negative 2. Because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Well, why do we bother? Why would we create such confusion by saying that? The reason I'm saying that is because it's important to see on your graph that you can go either direction and it's still the same slope. So if I were to go up 7 and over 2, this happened because last class someone said, hey, I've run out of space. I've run out of space on my graph. What do I do? I said, well, I'll just go down. Why? Well, if you go down negative, and then you got to go left negative, you're going to end up on the very same line. So going up 7 and then to the right 2, which is 7 over 2, is the same thing as going down 7 and left 2. And the reason it is because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. That's the reason we're showing that. Now, don't get confused. Remember, mathematics can give you something in a different form, but it can be the same thing. 7 over 2, the value of 7 over 2 is exactly the same as the value of negative 7 divided by negative 2. It's still 7 over 2. And that's why the slope is this direction.
So you're saying if it's bigger, so like say if it was like 10 over 2, then instead of going up, you go down?
No, I'm saying if you have 10 over 2, that if you want to go down, then you've got negative 10 over negative 2, and they're the same thing.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, with slope, you can go up or down, but just make sure that if you go up, in this case, if it's a positive slope and you're going up to the right, then to stay positive, you can go down to the left, because a negative divided by a negative is positive as well. And that's all. It's just an interesting way that numbers interact with graphs, and that's how that works. Any other questions? Excellent point, good question. Anything else? No? Okay, that's good. I'm glad we clarified that.